What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Someone killed my parents.
Pardon me?
Someone killed my parents.
What? Who? Are they still there?
Yes.
The people...
No.
Were they shot?
Hey, man,
Were they shot?
Yes.
They were shot?
Yes.
102 response, 722 North Elmore.
What happened? Hey, stay there!
Welcome to another episode of Dark History Diaries, where we delve into the darkest corners of true crime history. Today, we explore a case that captivated the nation, filled with tales of wealth, privilege, and chilling family secrets, the Menendez brothers. Jose Menendez was born on May 6, 1944, in Havana, Cuba, into a prosperous family. His father, a prominent soccer player, owned a successful accounting firm, while his mother was a celebrated swimmer who earned a place in Cuba's Sports Hall of Fame. They weren't part of the elite, but their celebrity status afforded them a comfortable lifestyle. Jose, alongside his two sisters, lived in a world where sports and success intertwined. However, this seemingly idyllic existence was shattered in 1959, when Fidel Castro's revolution swept through Cuba, leading to the confiscation of properties belonging to the wealthy and upper middle class. As political tensions escalated, the Menendez family faced an uncertain future. In 1960, a 16-year-old Jose made a daring escape from his homeland, leaving behind his family and friends. He flew to the United States with his sister's fiancé, embarking on a journey that would reshape his life. Once settled, Jose quickly adapted to American culture, excelling in high school. He was academically gifted and won an athletic scholarship, yet despite his hard work, the Ivy League was financially out of reach. Jose enrolled at Southern Illinois University, where fate would intervene in the form of a striking young woman named Mary Louise Anderson, known as Kitty. Born in 1941 to Charles and May Anderson, Kitty's childhood was marked by turmoil. Her father, an abusive man who owned a heating and air conditioning business, created an environment of fear and instability. After her parents divorced, Kitty fell into a deep depression, struggling to find her identity amid the chaos. Despite these challenges, she aspired to be an actress and enrolled in the same university as Jose. She was stunningly beautiful, both inside and out, her brother Brian Anderson later recalled. Kitty and Jose's paths crossed in college, and it was love at first sight. Despite a 2-year age difference, the couple married in 1963 and soon moved to New York City, where Jose transferred to Queens College. Initially, Kitty worked as a school teacher, but once their 2 sons were born, Lyle in January 1968 and Erik in November 1970, she devoted herself to raising them, encouraged by Jose to focus on the family. The Menendez family eventually settled in Princeton, New Jersey, where wealth surrounded them. But beneath the surface, Jose's domineering nature created a rigid household where expectations were unyielding. As the boys grew, they experienced the duality of privilege and pressure. Lyle and Erik were pushed to excel academically and athletically, but their father's perfectionism often manifested in harsh criticism. Jose's demanding nature was compounded by his infidelity, which created an atmosphere of tension and betrayal within the family. Despite the financial stability, the brothers found their home life increasingly stifling. Lyle, the elder son, later confided that their father's actions crossed a line into abuse. A cousin, Diane Vander Molen, recalled a summer in 1976 when an 8-year-old Lyle confided in her about the sexual abuse he was suffering at the hands of Jose. When Diane informed Kitty, she dismissed the claims, a denial that would haunt the family for years. In the following years, the brothers' rebellion against their father grew. Their mother, Kitty, struggled with her own demons, battling depression and addiction while trying to navigate the tumultuous waters of her marriage. Jose's unfaithfulness exacerbated the situation, leading Kitty to dependency on alcohol and drugs. Witnesses later described her as a woman increasingly lost and despondent, caught in a cycle of enabling her husband's behavior while grappling with her own pain. The Menendez family relocated to Calabasas, California in 1986, but the move did little to ease the underlying tensions. Jose became an executive at RCAA and mingled with Hollywood celebrities, while Kitty attempted to support him despite her longing for New Jersey. The couple's relationship continued to deteriorate as secrets festered. The tension within the Menendez household escalated. Jose was described as a cruel perfectionist, while Kitty struggled with her own demons, including dependency on alcohol and depression exacerbated by her husband's infidelity.
When my mom goes off, she talks about your whole life. She brings everything into it. You're born and ruined her dreams, and your tennis ruined her life, and you're ungrateful, spoiled, and she works herself into this frenzy where she's just completely out of control. We'll grab things and throw them.
Their relationship deteriorated, and by the summer of 1989, it was clear that things were reaching a breaking point. On August 20th, 1989, in their Beverly Hills mansion, Jose and Kitty were shot to death in a brutal attack. The scene was described as one of the most horrific crime scenes officers had ever encountered, with blood and brain matter splattered throughout the room. Lyle and Erik, armed with shotguns, executed the attack that would shatter the lives of everyone involved. Jose was shot 6 times and Kitty 10 times, including a final, fatal shot as she tried to crawl away. Immediately after the killings, the brothers attempted to stage an alibi. They went to a movie theatre and then to a food festival, all while their parents' bodies lay lifeless in their homes. When Lyle eventually called 911, he reported an unknown assailant had killed his parents.
Beverly Hills emergency.
Yes, police.
What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Someone killed my parents.
Pardon me?
Someone killed my parents.
What? Who? Are they still there?
Yes.
The people...
No.
Were they shot?
Hey, man,
Were they shot?
Yes.
They were shot?
Yes.
102, 722 North Elmont.
What happened? Hey, stay there,
I have a hysterical person on. We're trying to get things further. Other units responding. Is the person still there?
What happened? We have units around. What happened? Who shot who? I don't hear anything.
A claim that would soon unravel. As investigators delved into the case, they discovered lavish spending by the brothers in the aftermath of the murders. Within months, they had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on luxury items, raising suspicion about their involvement. A key breakthrough came when Erik, under the influence of a therapist, confessed to the murders. His therapist, Jerome Ozil, would later reveal that Erik had confessed to him in therapy sessions. This revelation led to a significant legal battle over whether the confessions could be used in court. The trial began in 1993, and the media frenzy that followed made the Menendez case a nationwide sensation. The brothers' defense argued that the murders were committed out of fear for their lives, alleging a lifetime of abuse at the hands of their parents.
Have oral sex with him.
Did you want to do this?
They painted Jose as a violent, abusive man and Kitty as an enabling figure who turned a blind eye to the horrific behavior. Throughout the trial, testimonies from family members supported the brothers' claims. Their cousin, Diane van der Molen, recounted telling Kitty about Lyle's abuse, only to have her dismiss the allegations. The prosecution, however, maintained that the murders were motivated by financial gain, insisting that the brothers had killed their parents to secure their inheritance. During the trial, the brothers testified about the final confrontation with their parents. They claimed that Jose had threatened their lives during a tense argument just before the killings. In a moment of panic, they retrieved their shotguns, fearing for their safety. Yet, the brutality of the murders raised questions about their motivations. Was this an act of self-defense or a calculated elimination of their parents? The first trial ended in deadlock, leading to a second trial that further limited the scope of the defence's argument. During this period, it became evident that the abuse claims, while part of the narrative, were not what the jury ultimately found compelling. Both brothers were convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder, receiving life sentences without the possibility of parole. Life in prison was challenging for the Menendez brothers. Initially, they were separated and placed in maximum security facilities, where they faced the harsh realities of their sentences. Over the years, they each found ways to cope with their new lives. In 1996, Lyle married Anna Eriksson in a ceremony attended by family members and legal representatives. However, this marriage ended in divorce after 5 years due to infidelity of Lyle. In June 1999, Erik married Tammy Ruth Sakaman in a prison waiting room, celebrating their love amidst the confines of incarceration. Tammy described their relationship as something special, a bond that transcended the limitations of their circumstances. The brothers eventually reunited in the same prison housing unit in 2018 after spending nearly 22 years apart, a moment filled with emotion and relief. Fast forward to 2023, when the case took another unexpected turn. New evidence surfaced alleging that Jose Menendez had also abused other young boys, including a former member of a boy band. This revelation reignited discussions surrounding the brothers' motivations and the legacy of their father's abuse. The Los Angeles District Attorney announced an active review of the new evidence, leaving the door open for potential legal repercussions and a re-evaluation of the brothers' long-standing claims. This case digs deep into family issues, the long-lasting effects of abuse, and what can happen when people stay silent. It raises some tough questions. Did the Menendez brothers kill their parents to escape a life of suffering, or were they just after their money? People seem to have split opinions on this. Some are convinced that the brothers were victims of serious abuse from their father and emotionally distant parenting from their mother. Others think they plotted the whole thing to cash in on their inheritance. It's a tangled web that shows just how complicated these situations can be. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, when the trial happened, society was still grappling with the idea that abuse could happen in rich families, especially when it involved boys. Now, if it had been the Menendez sisters instead of brothers, how do you think things would have played out? Would people have been more willing to listen to their claims? Gender dynamics do influence how we see these stories. At that time, many just weren't ready to believe that fathers could hurt their sons, and that stigma made it harder for the brothers to be taken seriously. Today, things are changing. We're having more open conversations about trauma and mental health. People are sharing their experiences, and there's a growing understanding of how important it is to believe survivors, no matter their gender. If the Menendez case happened today, would the jury have reacted differently? Would they have been more understanding of the brothers' claims about abuse, given how much more we know now about the impact of trauma? Ultimately, the Menendez case serves as a wake-up call, about the hidden pain many people carry and how fragile family relationships can be. Behind all the wealth and privilege, there can be deep, unhealed wounds that lead to tragic outcomes. As we think about this case, we're left wondering about justice, empathy, and how we can support those who have suffered in silence. Thanks for hanging out with us today to dive into the Menendez brothers' story. If you found this episode interesting, don't forget to subscribe for more true crime tales that explore the complexities of human experiences. Until next time, take care, and let's keep the conversation going about these important issues.